What's up, everybody? This is Jose from Southern Life. On a recent video, I mentioned that Arcadia has a lot of gangs, and the people that live in Arcadia said that that's a lie, that they don't have gangs in their small little town. So on today's video, we're going to go to Arcadia and we're going to count to see how many different gang graffitis we can find. Okay, bienvenidos a Arcadia. We are now in Arcadia, Florida. Got some food right here, get something to eat. The thing you'll notice about Arcadia is they have some of the worst roads of anywhere I've seen in America. I found what I've been looking for. I really can't understand how in the United States of America a city can have roads like this. So this is downtown Arcadia, Florida. And you can see there's actually a hole right here. But you can see it's just to poke some fun at the issue. They've put some toys in the pothole. So that should just give you an idea of how bad the roads are here in Arcadia when even on the main street of the downtown. Yeah. Do they have homeless people here now? This is the Salvation Army. You can see there's just kind of garbage piled up here, and there's just people by the tracks, and I think they're maybe Haitian, I'm not sure, but do they really have homeless camps up in here? No? My goodness, this looks like a homeless camp. Guys, this is Arcadia, Florida. They now have homeless camps here. You can see on the other side you have the Salvation Army, and there's people outside. They look like Haitians. But now you have homeless camps here in Arcadia, which is crazy because I didn't know they had homeless camps here in Arcadia. But this is what Arcadia, Florida is starting to look like these days. How about you guys? But I would say this town's going to crap. I want to be as careful as I can, but it looks like for sure this is a homeless camp here. My car does look like a police car. It's a rental. Yeah, sure enough, this is a homeless camp out here. And there are people over there. They kind of left when they saw me, because they're females, but this is definitely a homeless camp in Arcadia, and it's right behind downtown. Now, yeah, this is a homeless camp. I've never seen anything like this in Arcadia before. We now have a homeless camp here right in the downtown area. It smells horrendous. This is Florida right now, dude. This is literally Florida. They literally have homeless camps downtown Arcadia right now. People in Arcadia are literally living in homeless camps. This is absolutely wild. See, there's birds over there fighting over the food. Now, I don't know what on earth is going on with the United States right now. I've been in Arcadia more than once. I've never seen anything nearly like this anywhere in Arcadia. But you can see they've turned this into a homeless camp, and it smells really bad. You can see there's a bag of beans right there. I'm gonna guess the people that are here, a lot of them are gonna be Haitians. I've never seen Haitians here before. I think it's a new thing going on. But let's get up out here, because it's definitely suspicious looking and crazy. But definitely sketchy. And this is right by downtown. Like, literally, downtown is only a few blocks away. This is Arcadia, Florida, guys. Even Arcadia has homeless camps now. Right, this is starting to look like Jackson, Mississippi out here. I can't believe how bad Arcadia looks since the last time we were out here. And I noticed at the restaurant, normally there's a lot of Guatemalans and Mexicans at the restaurant. It looks like after the immigration law, you don't see too many. So why is that car stuck on the tracks? You catch that? Yeah. You catch that car stuck on the tracks?
I think they're trying to
like bait you. They're trying to bait you to go see if you help them. Yeah. I'm not sure what that's about. That's creepy. What on earth happened to this town? They look like they're Haitians too. I don't ever remember seeing Haitians here, have you? No, this is a small rural town, but just about every lot has like barbed wire fencing. Like, they got barbed wire fencing here. And you'd think if it's a small town, why would you need this kind of security? Like, literally, look, like almost every single empty lot has like barbed wire fencing. That's crazy that you need barbed wire fencing to protect an empty lot. Not gonna lie, it looks like there's homeless people blocking the road here at this bridge. You can see there's somebody with a shopping cart here blocking the road on this bridge. So I'm gonna guess there's even homeless people here now, like just randomly hanging around. I've never seen homeless people in Arcadia. This place has really gone down the toilet since the last time we were out here. The crap is that? Just like a camper covered in tarps. Notice how they have metal bars on the windows too. Yeah, I don't ever remember seeing, I mean, Arcadia's always been a poor town, but I've never seen it like this. This is like, it's like, what on earth has happened in this town in the 1 year period since we were here? Unbelievable. This place is really gone to crap. Notice how underneath the stop sign you have a neighborhood watch sign. I think in this car people are just gonna automatically think we're cops. I don't know if that's good or bad or how dangerous that can get. But there's just like garbage scattered everywhere. So about 1.5 years ago, Hurricane Ian did move through Arcadia, and it did a lot of damage, a lot of flooding. But even like there was like entire like boats and cars and like RVs. Like there's this camper park over by the water, and the hurricane kind of like flooded it all out. So there's just like campers scattered all across the Peace River. So there's gonna be damage from the hurricane still. But what I don't understand is why they haven't cleaned it up 1.5 years later. I mean, really? I understand, I don't know, 6 months after a hurricane or something, but 1.5 years after a hurricane, and there are still piles of garbage from the hurricane here. That, to me, does not make a lot of sense. And last time we were here, there was also a lot of illegal dumping back over here. Let me see if they've cleaned it up or not. But, you know, 1.5 years after the hurricane, that's a lot of time passed where it probably should have been cleaned up by now. No, it's still there. There's still garbage everywhere. Oh crap, look at the Chrome Vic on 24s, though. 1.5 years after a hurricane, you still have hurricane damage lying around. They got paid to clean that up. I don't know if y'all know that. Somebody got paid to clean that up, but they didn't pick it up. You understand? That's corruption right there. There's no way. Look at the shopping carts right here on the main road. That's homeless people dragging shopping carts around and leaving them everywhere. You're not gonna tell me that they didn't get paid to clean this stuff up. They got paid to clean it up. They just ran with the money and didn't do what they were supposed to. The same thing for the road crews out here. Somebody in this town of Arcadia, somebody gets paid to make sure that these roads don't have potholes. But you know what's happening here is that the local government is very corrupt. They steal everything. The money that was to pave the roads, somebody pocketed that money. You know, the money that was meant to go for picking up the hurricane garbage, somebody pocketed that money as well. So when you see a town like this that's completely impoverished, you know, the first thing you should know is somebody got paid. You know, somebody somewhere got paid to do all that, and they didn't do their job. You're gonna tell me that they didn't allocate money to clean up after the hurricane. They allocated money for you to clean up after the hurricane. Somebody kept it. This is the United States of America. You can bet that somebody somewhere allocated resources for the roads to be paved, for the hurricane garbage to get cleaned up. That money was provided, but somebody stole it. Somebody didn't do what they were supposed to. I've been all over the United States of America, and you know, outside of Louisiana and Mississippi, you're not really gonna see something where, like, you know, clearly, you know, somebody's just sucking the life out of a town. You might see that in Louisiana or Mississippi, but I don't think in Florida you're gonna see another town where they're visibly sucking the life out of the people. So basically what's happened with the state of Florida is that after the state of Florida implemented SB 1718, that was the immigration law. So what happens now is that the criminal organizations that traffic people, they've started sending all their duds to Florida. Like, okay, so Florida now has this immigration law to scare away people from coming to Florida. So what the criminal organizations do is all the people from like really strange countries, all the duds we could call them, are ending up in Florida. So you got people from all over the world. I've noticed recently with Florida, is that we used to have like a really steady, good labor force of like Mexicans or Guatemalans that would come over here to work. But after this immigration law that the state of Florida passed, what the trafficking organizations are doing is that they're dumping into Florida all the duds, all the people that are from like random countries, people that have like health problems, people that like will probably never learn English, or they're too old to actually work and make enough money. So Florida is becoming like a dumping ground for people that are paying to get trafficked into the United States, but they don't really know anything. You know, they're from a part of the world where they may not speak English or Spanish. Like those types of like completely like, there's no nice way of really saying it, but like they're just like duds basically. All those types of people are ending up in Florida now. So you're seeing people from strange countries show up in Florida. Normally those people would end up in other states, but now they solely end up in Florida because the criminal organizations figured, well, we have this trafficking network into Florida, but now most Latinos don't want to come over here. But here's this guy from Vietnam, or these African people, or these people from just random parts of the world. They don't speak English, they don't speak Spanish. Let's grab all those people and dump them into Florida. So really what they're creating in Florida, it's really backfiring already. And you went from just seeing your regular Guatemalan or Mexican immigrants, and now you're seeing people from Nigeria, Ethiopia, Somalia, Vietnam, Cambodia. It's just like, where are these people coming from? So now these trafficking networks are purposely pushing all these, like, those types of people are getting pushed into Florida because, they have the networks to traffic the people, and they really don't want to. They're not able to get Latinos to come over here, so they're just finding random people from all over the world are now ending up in Florida. It's incredible how many, like, ever since they implemented that law, how many people I've met, like at homeless camps or, vagrant. And when you try to talk to them, they're just like from these absolutely strange countries, like stuff you've never seen before. And, that whole immigration policy really backfired on the state of Florida already. Towns like Arcadia, like this town here, is mostly based around agriculture. And with that, now all the agriculture is going to suffer greatly. Unless you're commuting into Sarasota or Bradenton for work, the people that are here are going to suffer. Arcadia is a beautiful historic town. Like, this town was actually founded by what we call Florida cowboys. There was a lot of cattle here historically, and Cuba used to eat more cattle than it could produce. So, we're talking like 1800s. This area depended solely on trading cattle. They grew their cattle here, and then they would trade it for Spanish gold. So the Spaniards would buy all the cattle that Florida could produce. The Spaniards had gold, and the Floridian cowboys had cattle, and they would trade the gold and the cattle, and it was a real mutual benefit relationship. And that's how Arcadia, if you've ever wondered why Arcadia was just a big town back then, it's because they had Spanish gold. That's why there's so much impressive historical architecture here in Arcadia that just doesn't exist anywhere in Florida. You'll be hard pressed in Florida to find another town in South Florida that has as much buildings and big houses like you will here in Arcadia. This is really an odd thing because South Florida back then had nothing going on economically. Arcadia was lucky enough that they had the cattle and they were able to trade that cattle for gold, and thus Arcadia in its day would have been a great city. But now, these big giant mansions that are, from back in the day, a lot of them are just sitting vacant. A lot of them were destroyed by the hurricane, and now they're just sitting, in really sad condition. A lot of them were not restored after the hurricane. So you're seeing all these beautiful historic homes here in Arcadia that are just kind of, decrepit and falling apart. And it's really sad for a town that has this much history in Florida to just be sitting like this. And it's really sad to see these big, giant, beautiful houses that are so historical and overall decrepit conditions. It really is sad. There's no other way to describe it other than sad to see the current condition of these beautiful neighborhoods. These were, in their day, these would have been absolutely gorgeous historical neighborhoods. But today, these houses are just, a lot of them are falling to crap. The roads are falling to crap. The days of Spanish gold and cattle are over. And I don't know what type of, what you could call this current era we're in right now, but it's not a pretty one. You know, like in Ohio or Pennsylvania, it might be normal to see old houses like these falling to crap. But here in Florida, it's not normal, really. You just don't see that many old houses here in Florida falling to crap like that. What made Arcadia wealthy was the trade with Cuba. Cuba made Arcadia wealthy, and this beautiful town here in South Florida was created because of trade with Cuba. But today, with the politics of the day, you know, they have embargoes on Cuba. So, you know, just think about the cattle. Cuba has always historically been a huge buyer of cattle. And with all these embargoes on Cuba, you know, for whatever political reasons may be, you know, that trade is completely dead. Then you have, on top of that, the agriculture. Cuba could produce a lot of things that we need here, organically a lot of times, which is almost impossible to find. So now you go to the grocery store and you're paying $4 a pound for a tomato, but you know, tomatoes grow great in Cuba, but there's no buyer for them. It's just really crazy how, you know, things, if humans really wanted to make things work and function, you know, everybody could get rich, everybody could live good, but because of the politics of humans, now everybody suffers. I mean, a 10-foot razor wire, and that's shopping plaza here. It looks like there's people outside. I guess they're homeless, I'm not sure. And these potholes are bad. You can't see anything. But you can see there's two dudes just hanging out there vagrantly drinking. Alright, so at the beginning of the video, we talked about how there were a lot of gangs in Arcadia. So we're going to see if we can still find proof that there's gangs here. There used to be a lot of gangs here. Now, I don't know if they've tried cleaning it up because, well, let's find out here. See, there's graffiti here. Somebody don't like what ran right there, man. You can see on that one it says F12, which is I'm looking for gang graffiti, really. F12 is like anti-police, but you can see there's people here dumpster diving, quite literally. Keep it moving. For some reason, there's people dumpster diving here. He's just like dumpster diving. I'm not sure what to deal with. I can't understand him. He's like really mumbling. Yeah, we should leave for sure. As you can see, there's a kind of a crew of guys here dumpster diving together. I don't know if they're looking for food now. It smells like spray paint inside the dumpster. So I don't know if they're huffing, but you can smell the spray paint. This used to be all covered in different gang graffiti. They cleaned it all up. So I'm not sure what's going on back here. Is that a scope? What is that? What's that light shining over there? Oh, okay. Very sketchy for sure. This used to be all gang graffiti, but it looks like they've cleaned it up. Sketchy. All this here used to be gang graffiti. In fact, there might be some gang graffiti left here. Not sure, it's just regular graffiti. Okay. But man, the amount of homelessness here is insane. Look at all those people just sleeping out in front of this building. There might be 10, 15 homeless people here. I haven't been able to find the gang graffiti that used to be here in the past. But let me see if I can somehow discreetly record. I think they've already noticed us, but I think half of them are so high they can't even tell what we're doing. But you can see there's just an abnormal amount of homeless people here. I've never seen so many homeless people here in Arcadia. A lot of them might be rolling out. They might think we're cops. But what on earth is going on here? Might be living inside the building. Like a little, it's like a laundromat here. Okay, so they're hanging out here for a laundromat. I'm gonna guess that the local sheriff might have seen our video and they went around town cleaning up all the graffiti, because last time we were in Arcadia, or time before we did videos here, we had documented 8 specific gangs that were marking territory here. So we had documented about 8 specific gangs that were marking territory here in Arcadia, and we made a video about it. Video got a lot of views. A lot of people in Arcadia talked about the video, and now they cleaned up. There's even females out here. Dude, the amount of vagrant and homeless people out here is insane. For a small town, this is just absolutely insane. But I'm gonna guess that since we made that video about all the gangs that were here, maybe the police department probably cleaned it up or something. But there's people hanging out in front of that gas station there. There's like 3 people. Let me see if I can pull up. You see there's people here. There's 2 dudes right here. They look in bad shape too. They look really old and just decrepit looking dudes. They don't look healthy at all. But it's really an explosion of homelessness since the last time we were here. Look at that road right there. I mean, just try driving past that thing. Try driving through that. That's not even drivable. But wow, what the crap has happened to this town? Yeah, they cleaned up the gang graffiti, guys, because we had just made a video about it. And even on the video, there's people arguing, telling me, oh, we don't have gang graffiti, we don't have gangs here. So yeah, there are gangs here, but the police has been covering up the gang graffiti. But what are they going to do about all the homeless people? I've never seen... Can you imagine, Arcadia, what's this town of like, what, 9,000 people? For sale by owner, they don't even have a realtor on that one. A town of 9,000 people, 10,000 people, and they have, what, 40, 50 homeless people just visibly while you're driving through? Dude, the homeless situation in Florida is completely out of control. Absolutely abnormal. And comprehend how a town this small could have all these problems, you know? Crazy. Geckos. Yeah, they're slick. They're on the internet arguing with me, telling me that there's no gang graffiti. Oh, they don't have gangs in their city. Your gangs are still here. You just covered up the graffiti. And they're real slick about it. You know, they were arguing with me on the internet saying, oh, you know, you won't find a single gang graffiti in our town. You know, like, so I figured, you know, there were probably a reason why they were arguing that so hard. So, you know, they went around town, they cleaned up all the gang graffiti. But doesn't change the fact that a year ago, there was 8 different gangs marking territory here. You can go to my original video and you can see all that. So this bridge used to be nothing but graffiti, but again, they painted it and covered it up. All those cars parked there, they all have Confederate flags on them. And they got this one truck over here. I don't know if he's like security for them or something, but he's like driving around or something. I'm getting like some Alabama, Mississippi vibes up in here. That's real gang graffiti right there. You can see clearly gang graffiti. It says Southside Gangsters, so definitely you know, gang graffiti. And they've tried covering it up, but they're coming back. So to the people on social media saying that there's no gangs in Arcadia, come to our town, you won't see a single piece of graffiti. Well, you painted over it, but they put it back up. So yes, you do have gangs in your city. You know what's even scarier than the gangs is all those cars with the Confederate flags. That crap's even scarier than gangs to me. Those people are way more dangerous. At least the gangsters are against the law. But those Confederate type of people, they are the law half the time. They're even more dangerous. But you can see there's like people and cars pulling up everywhere. And I just get the most. I've never had like the most you're being watched vibes anywhere. But you can see here. Again, these are all gang symbols. Here, the stars, the S's. All this here is gang related. So yeah, they came and you can see how they painted over it. But they're putting it all back up. You can see right here how they painted over what was here before, but they came and painted it again. And it's good they're trying to get rid of the graffiti thing, but I don't think it was even about covering up that the gangs were here. I think it was just they got mad that I exposed it. So, but the people on social media saying, come to our town, you won't see a single gang. Yeah. Time to repaint it off the wall one more time, Billy. They might get it this time. I can tell you, I just get these vibes from this place like you're being watched. Like some real Alabama vibes. Like you're being watched vibes. Believe it or not, guys, the river that you see here after Hurricane Ian, in fact, I think you can see the watermark on the bridge. That's how high the water came. You can see the mark on the bridge right there. And you can see the water mark up there. So you can imagine where we're standing right now, we would have, I don't know, a good 8 feet of water above our heads. So that's just to give you an idea how high Hurricane Ian, the flooding. The issue too with river flooding is that when these rivers flood, the water level stays high for a very long time. You can actually make out what looks like either a 13 or 18 there. You can see they painted over, but the paint's bleeding through. Again, gang graffiti. Crap, dude, like all these cars have Confederate flags and stuff. Look, every last one of them has like Confederate flags. It's like some, what the crap? It's all like Trump flags and Confederate flags. Every last one of these cars has Confederate flags on it. This is some Klan rally looking type of crap right here. Sketchy place, man. You know, about a year ago I was in Arcadia and there were hundreds, if not thousands of Central Americans working, work trucks everywhere. You come back now and you see homeless illegals from Haiti and Nigeria, and you just gotta scratch your head and say, what the crap did Florida do wrong? You know, they turned a town of hardworking people into a town of vagrants, homeless, and people from weird countries, you know, faraway lands, you know. You just gotta scratch your head and ask yourself, how bad did Florida really mess up? You know, you went from having an established community of hardworking migrant workers to now all these illegal people and squatted trucks everywhere. Where did we go wrong, Arcadia? You know, it's almost like they just destroyed this town in a year. I mean, I think SB 1718 clearly was the turning point where things really just started to go to crap here. I mean, the town always had a bunch of gangs and stuff. It wasn't paradise, but, you know, to see the way it looks now with all the homeless people and the homeless camps downtown and all that, it's like, wow, like, dude, what the crap happened here? Do people that live in this town not realize that? You know, like, the people that live here in Arcadia, do you guys not, like, ask yourself, what did we do wrong? You know, we had a hard-working town full of people that were working in farms and agriculture, and now we got a bunch of homeless people from other countries who don't even know where they're from. Like, do the people that live here in Arcadia not see that? Did not see that a year and a half ago they had a functioning town, and now this thing looks like something out of California in a matter of a year? You went from a prosperous town full of people working to what looks like something out of like the California desert.